Here's this clip from Harry Truman talking about the establishment of Israel in 1948. And it speaks to your point, which is that what's happening now is a continuation of the Zionist project from the beginning. And it was well understood, including by Harry Truman. Let's listen.
We had several other people in the country, even among the Jews, the Zionists particularly, who were against anything that was to be done if they couldn't have the whole of Palestine and everything handed to them on a silver plate so they wouldn't have to do anything. It couldn't be done. We had to take it in small doses. You can't move 5 or 6 million people out of a country and fill it up with 5 or 6 million more and expect both sets of them to be pleased.
This is the Truman administration talking about ethnically cleansing Palestine. The essence of that message is the Zionists wanted it all on what he calls on a silver platter, but it was going to have to be done in installments because it was practically hard.
The fact that this is nothing new is I think a reality. That's any Palestinian will tell you that. This is what they've been putting up with, and been subjected to for almost 100 years now. And I think you have to hand it, as much as I hate to say this, you have to hand it to the Zionists. They did a really good job. And they somehow managed to, through, again, over more than 100 years now of investing, lobbying, convincing, educating, interfering in every aspect of life to make it clear that we are on the side of the Jews. We are on the side of Israel, 100%. And you see it in education, you see it in, you see it in local elections, you see it in culture, you see it in even philanthropy. Some of the biggest philanthropists, the Jewish philanthropists around the country here are Zionists. So, I remember being, in San Diego, the Jacobs family, they saved the symphony and they built libraries and schools, and they're Zionists. Who's going to tell them, it's a family of Sarah Jacobs, who's now in Congress. Who's going to tell them that Zionism is bad? Who's going to go against them on the issue of Israel when they've done so much, when they're such wonderful people and they're such contributors to the community? So even in philanthropy, they managed to have this Zionist influence really, really powerful. But that's how they've done it. And they've managed to, through all these years, convince the powers that be and convince the people in the streets and convince the media and on that this is the way things should be. And nobody asks, and nobody in the media asks, and nobody in the streets said, why? Why is this okay? Why do we need this ally there? What's wrong with, if a free Palestine is not going to be a good ally? Palestinians would not have been good allies. It makes no sense, except that, half the Jews who live there now, look like you and me, and they're white. And so maybe that element exists as well. But it makes no strategic sense. It makes no economic sense, and morally, it's deplorable. It's grotesque. What's being done to Palestinians for over 100 years is grotesque.